situation.
So are you guys following this story with Deion Sanders and his glasses? Have you followed how much he sold? So check this out. So a coach from the other side says, I don't like it. When a person has their glasses on and a hat on. Says, I was taught when you talk to your parents, you take off your glasses and you take off your hat when you're talking to somebody. Yeah. What does Deion do? He doubles down. Deion buys these glasses for every single one of his athletes. Okay, have you followed this?
No, I haven't.
He gives one to The Rock. He gives one to everybody. These glasses, he ends up getting some kind of, I don't know if it's equity or some kind of he's sponsorship with them. They end up selling $1.2 million of these glasses. Then $4.5 million of these glasses. Okay, the glasses that he's been wearing.
Yeah.
And Rob, I want to send you this article. If you type in Deion Sanders $4.5 million, that's the article you want to look at. It's just type in Deion Sanders $4.5 million.
Yeah, Prime 21.
That's the one right there. You can pull that one up and let's see what that one says. That's slightly different than the one I have. Deion Sanders sunglasses brand amasses $4.5 million in sales following a verbal back and forth with Jay Norville in week 3. If you want to go a little lower so we can give the details. They're tired of all that stuff. Okay, go a little so I can. They're tired of all that stuff. They really are tired of it. And I sat down with ESPN today, and I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them I took my hat off and I took my glasses off, and I said, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and glasses off. Again, the same thing. That's what my mother taught me. Right? And what does Deion do? Boom. Go up a little bit. I think there's a tweet above it, Robbie skipped. Right there, the weak CSU coach said, take his glasses off. Deion Sanders has his own line of glasses with blenders and now has given a pair of every Colorado players. They don't realize they just help me with business.
That's so funny.
Look at that right
That is so funny.
He gave him, play that clip because it just stopped, Rob. Yeah.
Let's give him some. Let's give him some.
It's a marketer. Look at it.
I'm going to give you these.
Colorado equipment team.
Boxes of them.
You can go to, there you go, look at this. Then he gives one to Rock. Rock's wearing one. Rob, if you can pause it. Then he gives one to The Rock, and you can go back to the story, Rob. Then he gives one to The Rock. Rock's wearing one. At their last game, Rock shows up. Mm-hmm. Who else shows up? Everybody showed up.
It was the biggest thing on earth. Did you actually see the game?
Yeah, of course I saw the game. The game was like they were down something by 15 points or something. They came back, fourth quarter, ended up winning it. Insane game. In overtime, a hit that was made. That was a uncalled for hit, late hit. There's a lot of controversy, but guess what? They're 3-0.
Yeah,
look at The Rock's wearing those glasses. Look at that.
Well, for the younger generation out there, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson are arguably the greatest athletes of all time.
I think so.
Okay,
you know who Deion said is the greatest athlete of all time? Ahead of Bo Jackson.
Who?
Have you heard him say?
No.
His cousin, who was a crackhead. You ever heard him tell the story?
There's always that one crackhead that could have made it.
He says, my cousin, who was a crackhead, was the greatest athlete of all time.
And
but crack got a hold of him.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you. He says, then it's Bo Jackson. That's Deion Sanders.
That's what he said. But Deion Sanders, for the younger generation, they probably, he was a former NFL player. Like, nobody. Like, you think about Tyreek Hill, who's in the NFL these days. I know that our audience doesn't love sports. This is a pop culture conversation. Whoever you think is the best player in the NFL, most athletic, Deion ran circles around that dude. He played cornerback, lockdown, like island, shutdown, punt returns. He would do the thing at like he played baseball.
Nasty.
Atlanta. He was nasty. He's crazy. And now he's raising a new generation. He's got 2 kids on the team. The quarterback, who's a Heisman frontrunner, Shadur Sanders,
30 yards
is a beast.
Yeah. He didn't just put his son on the team. Yeah. He's probably the top 3 quarterbacks in college football now.
And what you don't know is he has another son. He has 3 sons. One is Deion Sanders Jr., who's not playing. He's got 2 other sons. One is playing his old position, cornerback, same number, 21. First play of the game, first quarter, pick 6 to the house, boom, like the beginning of the game. He's actually a good father. He's a good man. He's a brilliant marketer. And he's turning out to be an amazing coach. Before Colorado, he went to Jackson State and dominated there. He took this opportunity. People forget when a huge Miami Hurricanes fan. There it is right there. His son just beginning of the game. First score, bang, pick 6.
Pick 6.
Colorado was a powerhouse of football.
Rob, we don't
Rashad
need to watch it.
Salam, Cordell Stewart, all these guys were good.
Rob, stop the video. Just
good,
change
Rob.
it.
They were competing against national championship against University of Miami,
Yep.
which The Rock was at the game. But you have people like Dwayne Wade being like, dude, I've never watched a football
College.
game
Yeah.
in my car, on my phone, but that's what primetime Deion is doing. And he's capitalizing this. But as much as this is a feel-good story, they're number, I think, 16 in the country right now. Number 19, I apologize. They travel to Oregon this
nasty.
Saturday. Oregon is a top 10. Oregon is favored by 21 points.
That's not
So
gonna be-
he better sell some sunglasses this week
Quick.
because they might be 3-1 by the time that this week
this
is
is
out.
just totally random though. Didn't he had like his foot amputated? Deion, didn't he?
Not foot, toe. Or
Toe?
something like
I don't know,
that.
Rob. Can you check if he got? I don't know, but that is that crazy? I don't.
Diabetes.
Is it diabetes for him? That's insane. Like Deion Sanders. says he'll
Remember
not
when we
feel
did
what-
the
Yeah,
Antonio?
he had 2 toes amputated, not legs.
two toes? Got you.
Remember when we did the
Big toes,
Antonio
but 2
Brown
toes,
interview?
Yeah.
Obviously, people are, dude, that was craziest interview of all time. The first hour was a shit show. The second hour was actually a pleasant conversation,
Yeah.
as weird as it was. But one of the conversations that turned the tenure and tone of that conversation was when I asked him, "Did you see what Deion said about you to Antonio Brown?" And he's like, "Well, what'd he say?" Because everyone respects the hell out of Deion. He goes, "Oh no, if you make it to the Hall of Fame, he'll show up for you. He doesn't even go back, but he'll go for you." He's like, "Oh really? Like Deion said that kind of a thing?" Like he has the respect of everyone, football players, fans.
Deion had a
Hall of
legendary
Famers.
song, "Must Be the Money."
Must be the money.
Remember this or
Yes,
no?
I
Every
do.
time I tell him to stop. I mean, this guy, by the way,
Must be
yeah, they're right there with
money.
the pink. Don't play it.
Don't play it, Rob.
It was the pink outfit.
He was so G.
He had on that back in the days. Yeah, but Deion, the other day I made a list because people were saying the greatest athletes of all time. And everyone's, oh, you're the greatest athletes of all time. Or
Jim
these
Thorpe.
names. I'm like, no, there's a difference between the greatest winner and the greatest athlete.
Yes.
Those are 2 different human beings.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the greatest winner.
Yeah, Tom Brady's
and the
not
greatest-
beating Deion in a race.
Exactly.
yeah.
To me, the greatest athlete is this guy. I had him as my number 1, ahead of Bo Jackson.
Where was Bo in your top
LeBron
5?
was number 2, Bo was 3.
Wow.
I believe LeBron was 2 because LeBron just makes no sense. For him to run as fast as he does, jump as high as he does, and be as big as he is, and have the physique as he has, it just makes no sense.
And Bo Jackson, Pat, you know this.
He's
when
not in my top 5 greatest winners, obviously.
Obviously.
He's in the top 5 greatest.
Bo Jackson,
knows.
athleticism, when he hit the scene and he was running up on the left field wall and people didn't know. He threw somebody out from the warning track
yeah.
to home. And people,
Sick
the announcers, just like, why get it like, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
No.
He was ridiculous. But yeah, prime time was, because we would watch these. Dude, I'm old enough to watch.
What's the fastest you ran the 40 in, Tom? What's the fastest you ran the 40 in?
I don't think I ever measured. I can tell you my 2 mile, but
What was your 2 mile?
my 2 mile, I got into the 11s.
Seriously? That's very good.
my
What's your
2 miles,
40?
my 40, I never really timed my 40, but my 2 mile was insane in the military. Like it was like
Stop.
Pat, I was sprint my energy. I would just sprint the whole thing.
What was yours, Pat?
My 2 mile?
No, you're 40.
My 40, I was a 4.6, 4.7 40. I was a fast guy.
Yeah, you had speed.
I had speed. What was yours? You're a 4.4, 4.5?
No, well, I played college football, but I ran a 4.59. If I could have got it down to
4.3,
lower, yeah, which it was not possible. But
4.2.
4.3 is insane. You go 4.3.
this guy 4.27, but it's
Well, Adam saw my 40 in Vegas, and I tore my
your 40th
hamstring.
birthday.
Rob, pull up the tweet I just gave you.
That's right.
Pull up the tweet I just gave you. This is when you know we do stories like this at the end of the podcast story, because this is officially for us, folks. For those of you that could care less about sports, we kind of like sports. This is who I had as my top 5 athletes. Zoom in a little bit.
Let me see that.
Because go to the bottom. First show the other guy on the bottom. Brewski had this. He had Serena Williams at 5. This is
What?
athletes.
Athletes.
They should change it to winners. He had Serena, then Brady, then Ruth, then Ali, then Jordan.
Good
right?
call. Those are winners.
Go to the top.
That's like icons.
I had Deion Sanders, then LeBron, then Bo Jackson, then Jordan. Then I had Jim Brown and Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain was a machine when you read about the guy, and Jim Brown was obviously insane. the greatest dominators, MJ and Brady at 1. Then I have Messi, Ali, Woods, Ruth is who I have. Anyway.
I like Pat. He's just making up. The two guys will be at the first thing.
Yeah,
whatever.
because MJ and Brady, to me, it's they're the GOATs. If you say he's the Brady of this or he's the MJ of this.
Yes. But Pat, you are right. There's a difference between a pure athlete versus a winner versus an icon.
Night and day.
Right?
Yeah, because a winner can have like Brady. He's a great quarterback, but the whole system around him, from the coach to the wide receivers to the line to everybody.
Look, let's get real here. Tom Brady is not a top 1,000 athlete of all time. Pure athlete, winner, heart of a champion, icon, Mount Rushmore. And I think that's what you're basically solving for is Deion Sanders is not
by the way, on Tiger Woods, if he doesn't hit a fire hydrant and take 6 years off of his career, he would have shattered, not just beaten, shattered
Jack
Nicklaus's records.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why you got to be careful who you marry, bro.
Well, and also you decide that maybe you're going to go remember you wanted to be a Navy SEAL, you're reading the book, they actually injured himself
Now you got to
severely.
decide who you marry. You know, when you do and you're not done, take your time. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like you're marrying and you want to have 16 folks from the modern day OnlyFans back in the days, adult, it's a different game that he played.
You know what would be interesting here? Can we pull that list back up? I'm going somewhere here.
Go to tweet.
Go back to that thing. I want to know how many of those guys, the greatest of all times, the winners, the athletes, the icons, how many were married, not married, divorced, had situations going on the low. I don't know. LeBron at the top of the list. He's married to his high school sweetheart. Respect to him. Michael Jordan remarried actually a Miami girl that I know. Well, but you talk about, Messi's married, but you talk about Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, y'all. Homeboy was playing out there. So was Babe Ruth. Muhammad Ali wasn't exactly.
Tiger was number one until they got mad at him for the hookers and the strippers. Then once everything went down. Poor guy, dude. They should have just let him hook up with the strippers, and he would have stayed number one.
Just let him.
Just let him.
Yeah, I think his wife, who became $100 million woman,
90 million.
She probably had something to say about that.
She's amazing.
She was a goddamn au pair, and now she's worth $100 million.
God bless her soul.
Yeah, how many random dudes just are worth $100 million because they got wifed up by some chick? Zero.
And Pat, I don't know if you guys know this or not.
I'm the dude playing the dude.
Playing the dude. But think about
what do you mean, Pat,
people? This is a random because I don't know why we thought of because Tiger. Do you guys remember what happened though? Why the whole fight happened and initiated everything? Mm-hmm. Tiger's home drinking. He's home with his wife. The stripper called the house. Okay, so he runs out. He gets.
This is when house phones were a thing.
This is when the house phone. No, I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
And his wife, he's in that truck. She's beating the car with the golf club. And I thought, Pat, how funny it would have been if Tiger Woods
made the U-turn into the fire hydrant and
hit the fire hydrant. But think about it. His wife is hitting it with the golf club. This is Tiger Woods, the best golfer of all time.
Yeah.
Do you think because he was drunk, as she's hitting it, he's like, baby, wait a minute. You got to bend your leg. You're not, babe, I'm sorry, but you're a reflection of me. The neighbors are watching it.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.